What's up, everybody? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Riaz, bringing you guys this five-game slate here for the NBA on Wednesday. Usually, Wednesday is a huge day for NBA. We're assuming that they're loading up for the Christmas Day games. That's going to be awesome. That those Christmas Day games look amazing. Hopefully, everyone will be in check and out of health and safety protocols, and we can get some really good action for NBA. But let's focus on tonight. Some really good things going on tonight. We had a really good night last night in the NBA. I mean, we started off the week really hot, went 5-0. Last night we had a positive night as well. So we're going to try to keep things rolling. No NFL tonight either, but Thursday, tomorrow, we'll be back with some NFL. It's always nice to mix and match, but I really like some of these NBA lines tonight. If this is your first time joining us on PrizePicks, you can sign up using promo code UPSTATE, and that'll give you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit. So if you put in $100, you get $100 back to play with. It's a super cool app. I mean, realistically, they're doing this promo that right now that's called the 12 Days of Picksmas. Today, the promotional is not geared towards players. It's more geared towards deposit and how much you play. But sometimes they do promotionals on say John Collins, for instance. I mean, they'll have him at 20.5. Sometimes they'll give you like a 15-20% discount on him. That'll drop him down to like 15.5 points, which, all those things are really amazing. Last night, Stafford had one and he didn't hit. And I was just, sometimes, they're not guaranteed to hit the tacos when they come around or the discounts, but they are amazing to have. And, PrizePicks does throw some bones sometimes. But we also did drop a Patreon, and Riaz is going to tell you about it.
Yeah, definitely come check out the Patreon. It's Upstate Bets and DFS, just like the YouTube, or you could type in www.patreon.com/upstate. Yeah, like Dale said, Dale went 2-0 on NBA. I went 2-2. A couple plays just didn't pan out, but hey, not bad. So our picks are live on there, so I highly recommend going and checking it out.
Yeah, Riaz has been killing it over there. He's doing recap articles. We both put out articles for each individual sports. We're also covering some UFC stuff. So incredible value, I believe, and I think that we're going to have a really successful time over there. And thank you to everyone who's signed up so far. Appreciate every single one of you guys, as well as hitting 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. And we do offer a free Discord as well in the description, and you can hop in there for absolutely free. People are in there talking, about CS:GO, some soccer lineups. I don't know, everything. A really cool community we got over here at Upstate Bets, and can't thank you guys enough. But let's smash this Wednesday slate here. The first guy I'm kind of looking at here at the bottom is actually Drew Holiday. I mean, he's at 19.5. He's been playing really well. Had that 40 bomb against the Pelicans. And I mean, he's just been playing really well, especially with all the injuries to the Bucks between Giannis and what's his name, Bobby Portis. So I mean, he's just been shooting the volume of shots. Obviously, you have Chris Middleton out there tonight as well. But realistically, the amount of minutes, last game 44 minutes, over 30 shot attempts, 36 shot attempts he shot, only 1 for 8 from deep. So he could do it for you, not even shooting the three ball. But realistically, tremendous volume lately. It's hard to fade Drew Holiday.
Yeah, without a doubt. One of the guys I've been looking at is Monte Morris. He's hit 4 out of the last 5. His line's sitting at 13.5, and we talked about him for threes for a while. We haven't seen a line drop for him yet for threes, so I'm curious. It's still at 1.5, but you really just can't take away of what he's been doing. Shooting the three ball, unbelievable. Shooting like 60% from the field, which has been incredible to see. And they got a really easy matchup here against OKC. I could see this game being a blowout, and I feel like with everyone kind of getting healthy on this team, Monte Morris is going to play a lot of the garbage time. I don't think minutes are really going to be a factor in this game, so you kind of riding with the hot hand here. I mean, 21 against Atlanta, 22 against Washington. I mean, this guy's just been playing very well as of late.
Yeah, realistically too, his 3-point prop, man, since it's been at 2.5, he's hit 5 out of the last 5. And he's just been playing extremely well, shooting the ball from deep. I mean, 6 out of the last 7 to even put it that way. I mean, if that drops at 2.5, I'm really gonna have interest in that line as well. Over in the rebounds category, is there anyone you like here, Riaz?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see with this Orlando rotation tonight. We've seen Okiki play very well. The first game he got that start, he had I believe it was 18 points and he had 10 rebounds against Miami. And then against Brooklyn, Brooklyn's still a tough team, even though they were dealing with a lot of the COVID protocol, the health and safety. But he only got 6, and I think 6.5 is a really nice line for him. But I believe if Wendell Carter Jr. does play, I would kind of fade this line because Mobamba is still out, but Robin Lopez really picks up that center role. So uh, definitely check the news for Wendell Carter Jr. But if he's out, I'm all over this Okiki rebounds. I think this is a great prop for him. No Clint Capella tonight. We know John Collins isn't the best rebounder. His line is at 9.5. Just figuring that Capella is out, so John Collins should get an uptick in rebounds. But at 6.5, that just seems like a really nice line for him.
We were on him in fantasy score too recently. He played really well for us in that category. So rebounds, does look good with the injuries. We'll see, how the news goes between Wendell Carter Jr. Even Cole Anthony's a guy that can rebound the ball pretty well. So we'll kind of monitor that. Another guy in this Bucks game, Chris Middleton looks really good at here at 6.5. I mean, he's hit the last 3 games. He hit last game even in 24 minutes going against Boston. I'm not sure if he's going to get insane amount of run tonight going against Houston. I think they have the potential to really beat up on Houston realistically. But like we said, I mean, even in 24 minutes he got there. The ceiling is, I feel like, not as high as obviously someone like nowhere near as high as a center, but realistically, I mean, there are some guards in this league who go out and grab, 8 to 10 rebounds a game between like James Harden and, Russell Westbrook, stuff like that. But Chris Middleton, I mean, fairly good rebounder. And, we've seen as much as 9 rebounds so far this season in a game, and that was in 28 minutes against Detroit early on. So I think he's in a pretty decent spot against this banged up Houston team as well. So just wanted to talk about him a little bit.
Yeah, without a doubt. We'll kick this over to assists. Just to keep it in the same game, Eric Gordon. He's just been playing unbelievable. His line's sitting at 3.5. He's hit 4 out of the last 5, averaging 5.8 in the last 5. And this is kind of something we haven't really seen with Aaron Gordon so far in his career, that he goes out and kind of brings this aspect to the game where he's kind of making plays for his teammates. He's been behind a bunch of stars, and now he's kind of the guy here with Christian Wood. And I really like this line tonight. The fact that it hasn't gone up to 4.5, 5. I think 3.5 is a great discount here tonight against Milwaukee.
Yeah, I definitely think it's an amazing spot here for Eric Gordon, and Eric Gordon especially here in assist. I think that's an awesome little line for him. I mean, there's some decent guys in here. I mean, I really want to see a Ricky Rubio line when that drops. I mean, his fantasy score is hovering around 32 right now. I'm really curious to see what's going on over there. I mean, they're dealing without Mobley, without Allen. So he looks pretty good. Someone like Darius Garland are probably going to be off tonight, but we know he has a high ceiling. Jokic, this game does have some potential to blow out, but he's viable, every night pretty much in this assist prop. Pretty much in every prop, Jokic is viable realistically. But anyone else here that you're looking at? I mean, for me, not really. If there's someone for you, you can talk about him.
No, I was just gonna see your opinion on Wagner here at 3.5 assists.
I was just hovering over his last 5 games, and I mean, this was a line everyone was peppering when it was at 3, at 2.5. I mean, it does look really good. I mean, the usage goes up without Cole Anthony, but I also do think that even with Cole Anthony, I think it almost looks better just because like Cole Anthony likes to take his shots realistically with the ball, like an isolation type player, but. Even Wagner, I mean, just they play better with when Anthony's on the floor. When Wendell Carter's out there, it's just a little high post shot for Wendell Carter that he really likes to take. Fits really well into the offense. Wagner can rack up some assists there. I mean, not a spot that I'm really going to be insanely on. I think he's going to look to score a lot more if Cole Anthony and Carter are playing. So, not one that I'm ridiculously on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely right there with you. We'll jump over to 3 pointers made. The guy that I'm really looking at here is Garland. His line's sitting at 2. I think he's got to have a pretty big scoring output against this Boston team that's kind of back at full strength. Getting Jalen Brown back, that just adds a lot more scoring output for this Boston team. And we've seen here on his last 5 that uh, he's gotten over twice, he's pushed twice, and so he's 2-1-2, which is kind of nice. And with the line still being at 2, we know the upside. Garland is a great 3 point shooter. He's hit this number so many times this year, and in a game where there's no Mobley, no Jared Allen, I think he's got to play big minutes. He's got to kind of rely on his scoring more than getting his team involved. And I think getting the 3 pointer going early here is really going to benefit him.
I believe the same thing, man. I was looking at Darius Garland for sure, and he's a guy that looks really good tonight with all the injuries. And then in that same game too, I think Jaylen Brown looks good as well. I mean, he's at 2.5, and since his 10-day absence from the team, and he's coming back and he's shooting a lot more volume of 3 pointers. I mean, 7, 7, 13, and 9 in terms of shots attempted from deep so far in the last couple games, and he's hit and in the last 4 games. So if we can see that same volume, he's only shooting 38% from deep. I want to remind you of that, but regardless. I don't think, I don't think he's going to go out and only shoot a couple 3 pointers. I think he's going to keep the same amount of volume going. I think they've been playing pretty good with him shooting that amount of 3 pointers. He looks good from deep lately, and I like to ride the hot hands.
Yeah, I mean, even another hot hand in Buddy Hield. I mean, I'm not sure this is a line I'm gonna be taking, but I just kind of wanted to highlight it. His line's sitting at 4. He's hit the last two, pushed on the last 4. So I mean, he's just been shooting the ball unbelievable. And with De'Aaron Fox still being out, I mean, this is just another guy that just gets incredible usage with Fox off the court. So he's kind of an intriguing play tonight at 4.
Especially in the late game, like a late game hammer looks good. I mean, the Clippers and the Kings and the Blazers and those teams are always on. Those West Coast teams are always playing mad late, and if you can hit some bets early, and you can come around and hammer some of these late games, it always feels good. And I mean, he looks good. He's a guy that I definitely wanted to talk about a little bit for sure. Just in terms of volume, man. I mean, he started off the game like 0 for 5 against the Warriors and came in that second half just absolutely was torching, and that was in a losing fashion. So I can't imagine if they try to keep this game close and Buddy Hield can go out there. He does have potential to even hit like 9, 10 3-pointers in a game realistically. He's just so streaky, volume shooter, I like to call him. But over in fantasy score, I mentioned Rubio. The Rubio line's at 32. Okiki is a guy, too. We kind of discussed about fantasy score a little bit as well. I mean, 2 guys that look decent. Not that I'm going to be extremely on, but who here looks good to you?
I really like Gary Harris tonight. I just kind of like the fact that his line is where it's at 22.5 against a Trey Youngless Atlanta team, and we saw his last two since Cole Anthony has been out. I mean, against Brooklyn and Miami, two very good teams, 35, 32 fantasy score, and at 22, he could get that scoring. He plays 30 minutes, he shoots the ball very well, and we've seen him grab a couple boards with assists. So 22 and a half just doesn't seem. It just seems way too low for someone who's going to play upwards to 35 minutes tonight.
For sure, we'll monitor the that news between for Cole Anthony. I think Harris looks great if Cole Anthony's out for sure. Going a little bit lower. Healed in fantasy score too doesn't look bad. Again, going back to him, he hit for us. I mean, he had like 7 fantasy points in the first half against the Warriors. Came out and lit it up in the second half, like I said. So it could be a scary play, in terms of fantasy score, but not bad. And then other than that, I don't see myself really getting to anybody else here.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But regardless, we talked to a couple guys here that, we're really on. If you want to see like us locking in some picks, some of the lineups we're definitely going to be plugging in and playing, definitely check out the Patreon. Like I said, that's going to be listed in the description. That's a premium service we offer. So if you guys, want to support us any further and want to hop over there, that'd be amazing. So let's hammer this little slate here on a Wednesday. Let's get prepped up for these Christmas games. Let's get the accounts rolling up a little bit, and then we'll hit it hard for Christmas. So thank you guys for everything you've done so far, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.